What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Before we get into the video, there's a couple things that I wanted to say. First thing, I want to say huge thank you to everyone that decided to pick up the ObesetoBeast signature series with active eyewear. That's the glasses that I'm wearing right now that I've been wearing for the past a bunch of videos. So I really do appreciate it. The second thing is, if you watch these videos and you see the chat on the side of the screen and you think to yourself, I would love to be a part of that live, I would love to be a part of the live video, I would love to have you. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Actually, if you are watching this video right around the time that it comes out, I'm probably going to be live, so I'd love to have you come join and hang out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alrighty, so today this is from a channel I've actually never heard of, but this was sent into my Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord yet, we have over 11,000 people in there. 11,000 people in there. So if you ever do like come across a video that you think you'd be like, man, it'd be cool to see what John has to say about this, we have a whole channel in there for that type of stuff. So you can enter in those videos and maybe it'll come across the screen and we'll be talking about it on my YouTube channel. But this channel is called Ryan Humiston. And he made this video. It says how to lose weight fast, and it says not how you think. So I'm kind of curious to see what he has to say because you guys know, usually when I talk about weight loss and I talk about losing weight, I talk about sustainable ways that you can do for the rest of your life and not try to lose weight super fast, because usually that doesn't result in the best results, right? So let's see what he has to say. And apparently I was told that he's quite crass in this video. So a little bit of a warning, trigger warning, if that stuff kind of gets to you, okay? I don't know if that's the correct term to use there, but yeah.
All right, today we're going over extreme, or what some people like to call crash dieting for fat loss, and why it's not only effective, it's actually the way to go. Let's get after it.
Well, I already disagree.
So I'm sure you've heard other fitness YouTubers say, or maybe you were sitting at home in your underwear eating lean pockets and Dr. Oz told you no matter what you do, don't crash diet because you'll blow right back up. And that statement definitely has some merit to it.
It doesn't have some merit to it. It has like literally all the merit to it.
Think back to my years of working with competitors, figure, fitness, bodybuilding. Every time I would sit down with one of them for the very first time, for the first 30 minutes, I would continually ask them, are you sure you want to do this? Because this is going to completely mess you up.
Okay, so already it seems like where he's coming from is he's talking to someone that is already relatively lean and is maybe trying to get like really lean, and maybe there's a little bit of difference. I mean, still, I would never suggest like crash dieting, but when you do compete for a bodybuilding show, the things that you have to do aren't healthy, right? They're just not. Getting that lean isn't healthy regardless of how you do it. And so like the only way that, I don't even want to say it makes sense, but I can see where he's coming from if he's talking about literally people that are trying to lose the last 3 pounds so they can be stage ready. But like the title of this video definitely doesn't make it seem like that's what he's talking about.
Not physically. Anybody who said that they messed up their thyroid from a hardcore diet is usually full of shit. In reality, what happened is they unleashed their inner fat kid and they're having a hell of a time shoving that chubby bastard back into Pandora's box. I'm talking mentally, because you're going to get to...
So also, I mean, one, I disagree with that as well. I'm not sure if maybe he seems like, I'm assuming most of his audience is men, but for women, like it really absolutely can mess up a ton of stuff if you're in a severe deficit for a long period of time. Like, dude, this is crazy. This is so, okay.
To the leanest point you've ever been in your entire life. You're walking around on stage in basically dental floss, and they're going to take pictures of you for you to take home to remind yourself that you'll never look like that again. Now you got a constant reminder on your fridge that you're a fat mess and any progress you make is insignificant.
So I mean, part of that is true, right? That's one of the things that a lot of people struggle with when you compete, is that you get so lean, and for a lot of people, they think that this is where I look the best, quote unquote, the best, right? And so they always feel that if I am not as lean as I was on stage, I am then quote unquote fat, right? Or I don't look as good, which isn't true, but that is something that a lot of people struggle with. But it's not the only reason that people have problems if they diet down too much.
But here's the truth. You can't get extraordinary results by putting in an ordinary amount of effort. You got to tread into the obsessive and slightly unhealthy waters if you want to make a change that people can't help but to notice. Unless your starting point is you're a contestant on that show, My 600-Pound Life, then yeah, you're going to make progress by simply getting your enabling mom to stop feeding you cheeseburgers all day.
So, I mean, I get that he's trying to be funny, but the thing is that, like, you don't have to be at that level to see genuine progress by making smart choices, right? Like, I wasn't 600 pounds. I was, closer to 400 pounds. And I always say, like, I started with the common sense diet, cutting out soda, junk food, and fast food, right? Like, and you could even be only 50 pounds overweight and see results doing that. Like, it's not just people that are literally morbidly obese to the point that maybe they're almost dying, right? And so it's just frustrating because it seems like this guy thinks that maybe he thinks like the only people that watch his videos are people that are already like really, really lean and are trying to lose a little bit of weight. But giving this advice to someone that is 80 pounds overweight or 100 pounds overweight, literally basically telling them to crash diet and then be like, okay, and then now you just have to maintain. I mean, come on, dude. It's just not helpful.
Because you know what happens when you go on a normal diet with just a slight deficit? Practically nothing, because you're going to chip away at that deficit little by little with random calories that come throughout your day, or you're going to cheat so much that deficit's going to disappear. And you've seen this a lot throughout the gym. I mean, look around at the people that basically look like they've made no progress year in and year out. I mean, if you squint hard enough, it might look like they're making progress, but they're not, because that's one of the hardest things to do. Make a diet that's difficult enough that somebody will see progress relatively quickly so they don't get frustrated, but not too difficult that one day they just break and start deep throating churros. So the question is, how do you formulate a diet that's going to be hard enough to get your results, but not to the point you're going to lose your shit? All right, first we need to change the way you look at dieting, because most coaches will say, all right, we're doing a 16-week recomposition plan because they're afraid to scare you away with the word diet, but it's a fucking diet. And 16, 12, or 10 weeks, that's a marathon. And the truth is, diets are better done as sprints. So
did he just say 16 or 12 weeks is a marathon? That's not that long. Like, if you are doing something that isn't overly ridiculous and is sustainable, that is not that long of a period of time if you are doing it in a sustainable way. Like,
reframe the way you think about it and take care of your current day and win the week. Because thinking anything beyond a week, 99% of people will be like, fuck it, take my foot now.
So this is the problem that a lot of people fall into. This is what I fell into as well when you try and lose weight, is that you think that if I can do it, I used to say this, if I can do something for one day, then I should be able to do it for a week. But in reality, if you're not eating enough food for one day, you might be able to handle it. Your body will be like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. But if you continue to do that, your body eventually is gonna be like, dude, I need food. And that's when a lot of people end up developing really, binge eating stuff, just really, really terrible stuff. So to tell people that they should be doing that, and that's the way to go, like, it's just so wrong. Like, it's just so wrong.
And every week you need to install a light at the end of that dieting tunnel from hell by implementing a refeed meal. You'll be amazed at how much harder you can push yourself and how much more you're willing to suffer knowing that you have a scheduled time you're going to be able to relax and enjoy yourself every week. Which brings me to a fairly widespread misconception.
Or, you could eat in a way that is sustainable and you don't feel like you need a refeed week or refeed meal. He calls it refeed, but a lot of other people might call it a cheat meal, right? So if you eat in a way that is sustainable, like me, right? I don't do cheat meals, refeed meals, anything like that. I eat in a way that's sustainable. I've taught myself how to eat correctly. And that's it. I don't feel like I need a refeed or a cheat meal or whatever. Like, oh my gosh.
Of how low you should push your calories. And I'm sure even saying that, a number popped in your head and you're like, I'm not going below that or I'll lose muscle. But when people think or say that out loud, they rarely factor in where their calories are coming from. Here's an extreme scenario for you, and I'll use clean numbers because I went to public school. So person number 1 is on a 2,000 calorie diet, which puts them in a decent deficit, and 35% of their calories is coming from protein. So they're getting 175 grams per day. Now, person number 2 is going to get less calories than they recommend giving a 12-year-old girl. Now, I don't recommend this. This is just to prove a point, but they're going to get 1,000 calories, and 80% of those is coming from protein. So they're going to get 200 grams of protein per day. So the question is, who would you bet your wife on? The one that has less protein and more calories coming from what I would consider energy sources, or the one that's basically all protein? I would hope for your wife's butthole's sake, you bet on the 80% protein. And again, I'm not advocating you get anywhere near that 80% because your kidneys would not appreciate that, but hopefully that opens your eyes and makes you realize that maybe I can push myself a little bit harder or drop my calories a little bit more and see what happens.
Dude, this is so bad. You just say, and see what happens. And see what happens. Like, just... I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It's like, I found out what happens. I have an eating disorder now. Well, whoopsies. Oh my gosh, dude, this is such bad advice. It's unbelievable. And it's like, it's clear that he is just talking to like bodybuilder physique people. And he is not like bringing up like the amount of protein that this person's eating versus this person eating. It's like, oh my gosh, man.
And don't take my word for it. You're the one that's willing to bet buttholes on it. Now, the only way these weekly diet sprints work is after you reach the weight or the...
Oh, man. I'm sorry. He called it a diet sprint. Oh, man. Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
look you want, you got to come up with a maintenance diet you actually enjoy. And I think that's why crash diets get such a bad rap, is because nobody teaches you how to get off of them. Probably why so many of those medical weight loss clinic clients completely rebound, which I don't blame them. Imagine going from having somebody just grab your love handles and threaten you every week to no accountability whatsoever. I'd be at the McDonald's drive-thru line pleading with the guy at the window, just be my accountability buddy. I need help. As simple as it sounds, to maintain the look you've got that you push so hard to get, all you gotta do is find your new maintenance level of calories based upon your new body weight and eat slightly below that, because you still want to factor in having that refeed meal once a week. And I think this is where people make the biggest mistake. They stop having that refeed meal once a week and they try to add something in every single day. I hate to break it to you, but your metabolism didn't magically change and now it runs better off of sausage McGriddles. It's okay. I lie to myself too sometimes. So it's hard to give a general, just go do this, because I have no idea where everybody's at in their life.
This is what this whole video has been saying, is just do this. How do you not see that? Like, literally, you're telling everyone to just do diet sprints. That's what you're doing in this video. It's like, just do this.
You could be at a really low place. You could be sitting at home watching this, eating a pound of gummy worms. But in my experience, most people have one or a mixture of these three problems. Either they don't eat enough protein, they're eating too many calories, or they justify having too many carbs. So after this...
No. So the reason you're not losing weight is not because you're not getting enough protein in, not because it's because you're eating you're in a surplus. That's why. Period. That's why it's happening, right? Not because you don't have enough protein, not because you're eating you might be eating too many carbs, but the reason that you're not losing weight is because you are in a surplus, right? That's why. It's that's the thing you need to worry about. Being in a deficit. And don't be in a severe deficit, because I'm telling you, it's not worth it in the long run. You will see results quick, but in the long run, that weight will come back because you will not be able to sustain that. Just trust me on this.
This video, put down the gummy worms, take a look in the mirror, and figure your shit out. So if you end up making some changes to push your diet even harder and you find pretty damn hungry, that's okay. That's your body telling you that this sucks and it's working. So if you haven't got a chance to check out the program, No,
I'm good. Yeah, this is really, really frustrating, because when people from like his background come and just try and make like blanket statements, and it's like maybe that's what's worked for him because he himself has never been severely overweight. But like to just say like, oh, just do these diet sprints and then find out your maintenance after you're done. It's just not that simple, especially for people that have been, struggled with their weight for many, many years. It's not just a numbers game. Well, like at the most basic level, maybe it is. Like there's a lot that goes into it, like with emotions and with like there's just so much more when it goes to losing weight that it's really frustrating when videos like this are made because it makes people that do struggle to lose weight feel like they're just like idiots or there's something wrong with them or that they just need to figure it out because buff beard guy is telling me the way it is and I should just, harden up and listen to what he has to say. Where it really does. I really do think it causes more harm than it does good.